Hey y'all, welcome to the Skookum Report. I'm Bob and I got a great Bigfoot encounter story for you today. It comes from my neck of the woods, Lower Delaware, Sussex County to be exact, southern Delaware. And some of y'all might know where this happened, between Cool Spring and Gravel Hill on Route 404. Now, for those of you who don't know about the Delmarva Peninsula, that's Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia Peninsula. It's predominantly flat land interspersed with woodlands and farms and chicken farming and dairy production, stuff like that. Now, it was the summer of 2003 when this encounter happened, this sighting, and it was June 7th. And it was 1:30 in the morning. It was a father and a son who had been down from Annapolis camping at the Cape Henlopen State Park. So he writes that my 18-year-old son and I departed Cape Henlopen State Park on the Atlantic coast near Lewis, Delaware at about 1:30 a.m., June 7th, 2003. After a day of fishing from the park's nearly quarter-mile-long pier. We had intended to catch a couple hours of sleep in my extended cab pickup truck before starting the 2-hour return trip home just outside of Annapolis, Maryland. However, we both managed to take some cat naps in our fishing chairs throughout the day, and neither one of us felt a bit tired. So we decided to depart immediately for home and just head straight on home. So Route 404 is the most direct route from Lewis to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and Annapolis, meandering through the Delaware and Maryland countryside with only two small to middle-sized towns, those being Denton and Georgetown, along the route there. The remainder of Route 404 is bordered by farmland, chicken, and dairy production and woodlands, like I said. Now, the father said, I was driving and my son was in the passenger seat, and we departed the park via Route 9, heading north, just a short distance on Route 1, and then we picked up Route 404 west. There was very little traffic on the secondary road at this time of the morning, and so I drove with my high beams on and I set the cruise control. And within a few minutes, I saw some movement up along the right side of the road, up about 100 yards ahead, and so I began to tap the brakes. It was a doe. She stepped out onto the berm of the road and crossed from the right over to the left. I continued braking almost to a complete stop, because usually when you see one, there's more that will follow, but she apparently was alone. Another few minutes passed before we saw a car approaching from the opposite direction, coming towards us. We could see its headlight glow before we could see the car itself, because we were approaching a gentle curve in the road to the right. Now, I flicked my headlights down to low beam, and in the matter of a few seconds, I saw the silhouette of a large biped cross the road, walking on 2 feet. From the center part of the road, across our lane of travel, and enter the woods to our right, some 100 to 150 feet ahead. My son immediately exclaimed, "What the heck was that?" I asked him if he saw it too, and he said, "Yeah, there was 2 of them." "2?" I said, and he said, "Yes, the tall one in front and the shorter one about 4 or 5 feet behind him." My truck had almost slowed to a complete stop by this time, because my foot was already on the brake, and as soon as I spotted the creature, my son and I slowly drove by the spot where they appeared to enter the woods, and we couldn't see anything. The car that was approaching passed us at this point, and it didn't slow down or stop, so I guess they didn't see anything. And I asked my son to describe what he saw. He said he saw a large thing walking on 2 legs with another shorter thing following behind. He added that the shorter one was about chest high to the larger one, Now, my son is nearly 6 feet tall, and he said the larger one had to be taller than him. And I saw the taller one's side profile as a silhouette, or almost sort of a shadow. It moved across the road quickly in a purposeful manner, and I couldn't see any arms or arm swing, and it didn't turn its head to look toward us or anything like that, and I couldn't discern any color or body features except just the head, the torso, and the legs. There was no accompanying odor with this sighting, and when we passed what we believed to be the creature's entry point into the woods, my son's passenger side window was completely down, and mine was partially down, and all we could smell was just a normal, moist, woodsy nighttime air. Nothing more than that. Additional observation by my son, now these are his words. He said, "My father saw one thing cross the road while I saw two." And I use the word thing because I truly have no idea what I saw across the road that night. They were not quadrupeds. They were not walking on 4 feet. The larger one walked upright and at a smooth pace. No bouncing around, no bobbing around. It didn't seem to speed up as our truck approached it neither, and when the oncoming car drew closer to the curve in the road, that's when I saw the second, shorter one in the glow of the other car's headlights. The second, shorter thing, I could see that it wasn't standing straight up like the larger one, but it was slightly leaned forward. And the silhouette of both things appeared fuzzy like a picture out of focus. And my dad said he didn't see arms or arms moving, but I could see long arms moving back and forth on both things. The arms didn't move very much, but I could see them, that's for sure. And I don't mean to make a joke out of what we saw, but the larger one of the two, he could have looked Yao Ming, the basketball player from China, directly in the eyes. And he is tall. Now, the father said, when I first initially put this encounter down on paper, I described what I saw as a shadow, not a silhouette, but a silhouette might have been a more appropriate word. I cannot put the illusion of a shadow out of my mind, though, and after talking this over with my son, we believe that the creatures that we saw did, in fact, have hair on their body, and that a combination of backlighting from the car approaching us on the opposite direction and my own low-beam headlights caused the outline of the creature that I saw appear shadowy or diffused. Perhaps a result of light shining on or through its hair. This perhaps can be supported by my son's description of the silhouette of both creatures appearing fuzzy or out of focus. Now, me and my son, we were both very alert. We weren't tired, like I said, and we were both keeping an eye out on and adjacent to the road for deer. And because on the Delmarva Peninsula, there's two types of deer, and there's the white-tailed deer, and you got your smaller Sitka deer, and both of them can do significant damage to a vehicle if struck. That's for sure. And that's his encounter story, and that happened back in 2003, and that just is awesome. That amazes me. Just to think that, especially the son seeing two of them, and knows what he saw. He saw the arms swinging, and at 1:30 in the morning. Now, who would go out of their way to try to pull some kind of hoax? I don't know. At 1:30 in the morning on 404, I just don't see it happening. But that was a great encounter story. So I want to invite you all to, again, if you have any encounter stories of your own or any sightings, go ahead and send me an email, write them down, and put them in an email to me, and email them to bob.daigle75@aol.com. That's bob.daigle skookum.daigle75@aol.com, and we'll get them up on the Skookum report for you, and we'll share your story with everybody. Now, everybody has a good story, and everybody has something strange that's happened to them in their life they could talk about, and we'll be happy to put it on Skookum report for you. Thanks for coming back, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and tap that bell for future notifications on new videos when they come out. And leave a comment and let us know what you think, and leave your ideas or any comments that you might have. And you guys are awesome, and I really appreciate you. And thank you so much. And we'll see you next time on the Skookum Report.